MaxClaw Automation. I killed my Zapier subscription with this free AI agent. Real workflows, not demos. Let's begin. Before we get into it, shout out to GeethaS who nailed last week's quiz cold. The answer was OpenAI base. The exact env variable MaxClaw calls first on boot. If your previous OpenAI install left that variable pointing somewhere old, MaxClaw silently fails and most people never figure out why. GeethaS got it in one. Respect. Now, today's video is the advanced follow-up to that exact problem. Members can drop their setup questions directly in the community tab and I answer every single one. That's the deal. I just canceled my Zapier subscription. Not because Zapier broke. Not because I ran out of use cases. Because MaxClaw just did everything it does. In plain English, with no monthly bill, and in less setup time than it takes Zapier to load. In this video, I'm running 4 real MaxClaw automation workflows I've actually stress tested. Not demos, not theoretical use cases. Actual workflows I ran, timed, and broke. On purpose, so you know exactly where the limits are. Workflow 1, a daily morning news digest. Workflow 2, an automated document processing pipeline. Workflow 3, a self-correcting code execution loop. Workflow 4, a Slack to email relay. By the end of this video, you'll know whether MaxClaw can actually replace your paid automation stack or whether it's just hype. Let's find out. Here's the fundamental difference between MaxClaw and Zapier, and it's not just price. Zapier works on triggers and actions. Something happens, a trigger, and then a predefined action fires. You build the logic in a visual interface, one step at a time. It's powerful, but it's rigid. Change the workflow, rebuild it. MaxClaw works on intent. You describe what you want in one sentence. The agent figures out the steps, executes them in sequence, handles errors, and adapts when something unexpected happens. That's not marketing language. That's the actual architecture difference between rule-based automation and agentic automation. One follows a script, the other understands a goal. The trade-off: Zapier is more predictable for highly structured, repeatable business processes. MaxClaw is more flexible for research-heavy, content-heavy, or variable workflows. Now let me show you exactly where that plays out in practice. This is the workflow I run every single morning, and I set it up once. 2 weeks ago. Haven't touched it since. Here's the exact prompt I used. Write this down or pause here. Every morning at 8 a.m., search for the top 5 AI and tech news stories published in the last 24 hours. Remove duplicates. Rank by significance. Format as a numbered list. Headline, 2-sentence summary, source URL. Send to this chat. That's the entire instruction. One block of text. MaxClaw handles the scheduling, the search, the deduplication, the ranking, and the formatting. Automatically, every morning, without me opening anything. The Zapier equivalent of this? You'd need at minimum a scheduled trigger, a web search action, a filter step, a formatter, and a send action. 5 steps, multiple zaps, and you'd still need to manually wire the deduplication logic. MaxClaw, 1 sentence. Now here's what the output actually looks like. Clean, sourced, formatted. No hallucinations on the sources. I checked every link for 2 weeks straight. Accuracy rate: 4 out of 5 links valid on average. The 5th occasionally surfaces a paywalled article. Minor issue: benchmark. Task execution time from scheduled trigger to Telegram delivery, approximately 45 to 90 seconds depending on web search load. Workflow 2 is for anyone who deals with documents. Research papers, contract summaries, financial reports, meeting transcripts, anything that takes you 30 minutes to read and summarize. Here's the setup. No pre-configuration needed. MaxClaw's file analysis tool is active by default. Upload any document directly to the Telegram chat. Then send this instruction. Analyze the attached document. Extract. The main argument or purpose. Key findings or data points. Max 10 bullet points. Any action items or recommendations, and flag any claims that require verification. Format as a structured report. I tested this on a 47-page technical white paper. Here's what happened. Processing time: 68 seconds for a 47-page document. The output. What impressed me wasn't the speed, it was the verification flags. MaxClaw flagged 3 specific statistical claims in the paper as requires source verification, and it was right. 2 of those stats couldn't be confirmed with a follow-up search. That's not a chatbot, that's an analyst. Now, important limitation. MaxClaw currently handles PDFs, plain text files, and most common document formats. I tested a heavily formatted Excel spreadsheet. It struggled. Extracted the data but lost the table structure. Workaround: export to CSV first. Extraction rate in testing: approximately 200 words per page processed per minute. For standard documents, this is faster than any human analyst. This one genuinely surprised me. MaxClaw doesn't just write code, it executes it, and if the execution fails, it debugs itself automatically, without you asking it to. Here's the workflow I tested. Write a Python script that scrapes the titles and URLs of the top 10 posts from Hacker News right now. Run it. If it fails, fix the error and run it again. Keep trying until it works. Show me the final working output. I sent that. Then I watched. First attempt, the scraper hit a rate limit. MaxClaw read the error, added a user agent header and a delay, and reran. Second attempt succeeded. I didn't write a line of code. I didn't debug anything. I described the goal. MaxClaw figured out the path. Benchmark: 2 iteration loops on average before working code output. Execution runs in MaxClaw's sandboxed cloud environment. Nothing runs on your machine. Code runs in MaxClaw's cloud sandbox. No local execution risk. No access to your file system. That last point matters. The code execution is sandboxed on MiniMax's servers. It cannot access your local machine, your files, or your network. It generates output and returns it to you. That's the security boundary. Understand it before you use this feature. Use cases that actually work here. Data scrapers, API integrations, CSV processors, web automation scripts, report generators, anything where you know the goal but not the exact code. What it's not good for. Anything that needs access to your local environment, private databases, or VPN-protected systems. For that, self-hosted OpenClaw with Docker sandboxing is the right tool. Different video. Workflow 4 is the one that made me cancel Zapier. This exact use case was costing me $49 a month. The setup: whenever I post a specific type of message in a Slack channel, MaxClaw intercepts it, reformats it as a professional email, and sends it to a specified recipient list. Here's how you set up the Slack connection first. In your MaxClaw dashboard, click Connect Slack. This opens Slack's developer portal. Click Create New App. From scratch, name your app. I called mine MaxClaw Relay. Under OAuth and Permissions, grant these scopes: channels, history, chat write, IM read, users read. These are the minimum permissions MaxClaw needs. Don't grant more than this. Install the app to your workspace. Copy the bot user OAuth token. Paste it into MaxClaw. Critical step most people miss. After installing, go to the Slack channel where you want MaxClaw active. Type invite while your app name. Without this step, your bot is installed but can't see your messages. This is the most common failure point. Must invite your bot to the channel or it won't work. Setup time: approximately 4 minutes. Now the workflow instruction. Monitor this Slack channel. When I post a message starting with email, take the content after that tag, format it as a professional email with a subject line, greeting, body, and sign-off, and send it to recipientdomain.com. Confirm when sent. From that point forward, I type email, follow up on the MaxClaw testing results from last week in Slack. MaxClaw formats it into a complete professional email and sends it. Confirmed in the chat. That's it. No Zap, no make scenario, no monthly subscription. I'm not going to sell you on MaxClaw like it's perfect. Here's where it actually has problems. Rate limits. On the free tier, MaxClaw will throttle heavy automation workflows. If you're running 20+ scheduled tasks simultaneously, expect delays. The dashboard shows you your usage. Watch it. Complex multi-branch logic. If your workflow has more than 3-4 conditional branches, if X do A, if Y do B, if Z check this other thing first, MaxClaw occasionally misses a branch. For complex conditional logic, Zapier's explicit node graph is actually more reliable. Real-time data accuracy. MaxClaw's web search is good, not perfect. For breaking news within the last hour, there's sometimes a lag. For anything older than 4 hours, it's solid. WhatsApp, still beta. As of March 2026, WhatsApp integration is in closed beta. Don't build workflows around it yet. No local execution. I said this before, but it's worth repeating. MaxClaw cannot access your local file system, your private databases, or anything behind a firewall. All execution is cloud-side. Know the tool's edges. Use it where it's strong. Don't force it where it's weak. Quick, but important. Since we ran 4 workflows involving real data, you need to know the security picture for each one. News Digest workflow. MaxClaw searches public web sources. No personal data involved. Risk level. Essentially, 0. Document processing. Your document leaves your device and hits MiniMax's processing servers. Treat this the same as uploading to ChatGPT or Claude. If the document contains trade secrets or attorney-client privileged content, don't upload it to any cloud AI. Full stop. Code execution runs in a sandboxed cloud environment. The code cannot access your machine. Output is returned via text. Risk, low for most use cases. Do not write code that intentionally tries to exfiltrate data from the sandbox. That's a terms of service violation. Slack relay. Your Slack OAuth token is stored in MiniMax's credential vault. Rotate your bot token periodically, just like you would for any third-party Slack integration. None of these are reasons to avoid MaxClaw. They're reasons to use it with the same judgment you'd apply to any cloud tool, which you already do, or you should. 4 workflows, 0 paid subscriptions. The Morning Digest runs itself. The document pipeline saves hours. The code execution loop handles tasks I'd normally spend 30 minutes debugging. The Slack relay killed a 49-month Zapier plan. Is MaxClaw a full Zapier replacement for every use case? No. Is it a full replacement for most productivity-focused, content-heavy, research-heavy workflows? Yes. Next video. We're going technical. I'm breaking down the M2.5 mixture of experts architecture. Why 229 billion parameters only needs 10 billion active to beat GPT-4 class models. And I'm showing you how to connect MaxClaw to Telegram, Discord, and Slack simultaneously. 1 agent, 3 platforms, 1 memory system. If video 2 was practical, video 3 is the one that'll make you understand why MaxClaw is built differently from the ground up. Subscribe. Drop your questions in the comments. I'll see you Tuesday.